speaker is Professor Dr. Ahmed Abdelmoneim. He is professor at the Materials Science and Engineering Department, Egyptian Japanese University. دكتور أحمد دكتوراه في هندسة المواد من اليابان، أشرف على ما يزيد عن 20 رسالة ماجستير ودكتوراه، وحاصل على 4 ورقات دكتوراه أمريكية، وله أكثر من 80 بحث في الدولة. هل عندك نص ساعة للبرزنتيشن و15 دقيقة للدسكشن؟ يا ما نبدأ الدسكشن بتاعه. اتفضل.
شكرا جزيلا يا فندم. بداية بحب أشكر اللجنة المنظمة دكتور مجدي هلال وسيد دكتور خالد داعي. بداية طبعا بتوجه بالعزاء طبعا السيدة النفسية والشريف كلمة الله يرحمه أحد مؤسسي المؤتمر. توجه العزاء أيضا للزميلة العزيزة منى بكر، إحدى مؤسسي علم النانو في مصر ونشر النانو تكنولوجيا في مصر. فقدناها من حوالي أسبوعين، وفقدنا قيمة علمية كبيرة في مجال النانو تكنولوجي، وهي أول من أسس شركة لإنتاج أو نقل البحوث من المعمل للتطبيق الصناعي. الله يرحمه ويحسن إليها، ساعدت ناس كتير وساعدت في إنشاء العديد من معامل النانو في مصر، أولها معمل النانو في الجامعة المصرية اليابانية اللي أنا مسؤول عنه حاليا. Move to our presentation today a little bit far away from construction. It's a new topic, new materials, and I do expect that the graphene will make a change in the electronic technology all over the world in the coming period. Right now we are living in silicon era. I do expect within the coming years we are going to live in graphene era. Title of my presentation today is Planar, vertically oriented graphene film for flexible supercapacitor application. As you may know, there is emerging technologies related to renewable energy, like solar energy, wind turbines, and so on, and also emerging technologies related to portable and flexible electronics, and more recently, another technology appeared called energy harvesting technology, to make use from your movement to store energy inside your body in order to be able to operate any device cultivated inside your body or your brain, whatever. So, in this regard, we need a real, efficient energy storage medium in order to make use from all of these emerging technologies. We need energy storage medium. Okay? To have an efficient energy storage media, we need to have this media or devices has to be or has to show high energy density. What the meaning of high energy density? The ability of the material or device to store large amount of energy. The second feature is to have high power density. What the meaning of high power density? Is to deliver and to receive energy in very short period. The third one is to have a long lifetime. This is very important for any energy storage media. If we're talking about energy storage media, we are talking about battery and supercapacitors. Okay? In addition, according to the application, we may need another function like to be flexible. If we are dealing right now with the portable and flexible electronics, should be lightweight, should be environmentally friendly, and biocompatible if it will be used in any biomedical applications. Of course, the low cost. If we are not having a device with low cost, we will not be able to implement in any kind of technology. Okay. With respect to electronic and the portable flexible electronic, the market share right now is about $14 billion US, and expected to be raised by 24 to 64 billion US dollars. In this regard, if we are talking about flexible electronic, we have to also focus on flexible energy storage media. So, in 2014, the market share for flexible energy storage media was 2% and expected to increase by 2024 to 20%, and by 2030, it will completely replace batteries. Okay, so supercapacitor expected to replace conventional batteries, whether it's solid batteries or flexible batteries, by 2030. Okay? Later on, I will explain why people are going to replace batteries with supercapacitors. Another important issue is people would like to replace what is called ITO, which is used in touch screen.
الفلور يحب يسمع انجليزي ولا يسمع عربي؟ يحب
اسهل لك يكتب بالعربي.
براحته.
خلاص انا بحبه معاك مع بعضين يعني انا بتكلم عن ITO replacement اللي هو mostly common used material in touch screen, flexible electronic. People are looking forward to replace it by new nanomaterial like graphene, carbon nanotubes, metal mesh, and silver. So I'm going to explain why we would like to replace supercapacitor batteries with supercapacitor, and why people are interested in graphene instead of ITO. ITO is a highly conductive material but very brittle. It cannot be used in any touch screen or flexible technology. Okay, this is the comparison between supercapacitor and batteries. This simple comparison indicates that the cycle life of supercapacitor is one-fold higher than batteries. This is one advantage. Second one is charging and discharging of supercapacitor is more efficient than batteries. Another important point, which is the most important point for supercapacitor, is the ability of supercapacitor to deliver and receive energy is very fast. Within a fraction of a second, you can charge your device, supercapacitor device. Compared with batteries, you can charge it in 1 hour, 2 hours, half an hour, according to efficiency of your device, to the efficiency of your device, and to the efficiency of your material. The only drawback in case of supercapacitor, its ability to store energy is very limited compared with the battery. This is the only drawback, and this is limited right now the application of supercapacitor in many engineering applications. So this is the most important parameter: energy density, ability to store energy, and power density, the ability to deliver and receive energy. If we plot these two functions and compare fuel cell as an energy storage medium and lithium-ion batteries as an energy storage medium with supercapacitor, we can find that fuel cells are very good energy storage media with respect to energy. But with respect to delivering energy, it's very slow. And this is the supercapacitor. Has very low energy storage, energy density, but has very high power density. So the target is to increase the energy density of supercapacitor to be comparable with fuel cells and batteries, and make use from other benefit of using supercapacitor. That's why the whole world is expected to replace batteries with supercapacitors. Okay, how to improve the performance of your supercapacitor in order to reach the international target? So we have to go back to the structure of our device. The basic structure of our device: two electrodes, simple electrode, separated by membranes. And the parameter of energy density and the parameter of power density is simply related to the specific capacitance, cell capacitance, and what is called equivalent series resistance. This is related to the resistance of the material. Simply, in order to increase power density, energy density, and the power density, we have to increase cell capacitance. To increase cell capacitance, simply you have to increase the surface area of your electrode material. Increasing the surface area of your, increasing the conductivity, electron transfer and ion transfer. By this way, we will be able to increase the energy density of the supercapacitor unit. Okay, so this is the typical material which are currently used in developing highly efficient electrode for supercapacitors or for supercapacitor. Carbon materials like carbon nanotubes, carbon nanofiber, and graphene. This material characterized with very high electronic conductivity, very large surface area, low cost, but it has limited specific capacitance. It means that it will have limited energy density. It means that it will store very small amount of energy. The second material is called metal oxide. Metal oxide has very high specific capacitance. It means that we will be able to increase the energy density. It means that we will be able to increase the amount of energy stored. But this material, very costly, like ruthenium oxide, or has very high resistance if we consider manganese dioxide as very cheap materials. Okay, and lastly, conducting polymer. I will not pay attention to conducting polymer. Okay. So the first type called what is called electrochemical double layer supercapacitors. The second type called residual capacitors or Faraday capacitors. So the international society seeking to mix both types of supercapacitors in order to develop what is called the hybrid supercapacitors, combining the carbon material as well as metal oxide. So this is the target of all people working in this area, is to develop hybrid supercapacitors with high specific energy relying on carbon material as well as metal oxide. So the objective of our own work, is to develop flexible supercapacitor unit to meet the international science society for flexible electronic application and portable electronic applications by having very efficient hybrid electrode with large surface area, with high electrical conductivity, porous surface, and flexibility. In order to have supercapacitor unit with high energy density, high power density, high stability is very important, and long cycle life. And of course, we are always looking on cost. Okay. Graphene is one of the carbon materials, as already mentioned, and we do expect that graphene will change the overall world in the coming era. And most of the electronic industry will be replaced based on the unique property of graphene. So silicon already passed away. So we have a real chance right now to move with the people working in the electronic area. People just started and discovered the graphene by 2004 and got Nobel Prize in 2010. What is graphene? It's a hexagonal, nano, honeycomb structure of carbon materials. Single layer. And this single layer is the total of what is called the graphite, tricarbon. Graphite, single element source, which is composed of a stack of graphene layer connected with each other with physical bond, very weak bond. So you can easily remove one layer of graphene from graphite by any mechanical exfoliation or chemical exfoliation. This is very simple. Why people are thinking that graphite or graphene is very important for the electronic industry or for the coming future? Why? This can be answered from this very simple definition. Very simple definition. Graphene is one atom thick planar sheet. One atom thick, it means that you are dealing with the most thinnest ever known material. It means that you have highly transparent material. Planar sheet, it means that you have a large sheet, you can easily pattern it. You can pattern it in nano device, micro device. You can have a lot of devices on graphene sheet. This is very important features. The second important feature is sp2 sp2 bonded carbon atom. What's the meaning of sp2? Each carbon atom has 4 free electrons. 3 of them are bonded with the neighbor carbon atom by covalent bond, and 1 electron delocalized on each carbon atom. So this blanket is covered with a flood of electrons. High electron mobility, high electrical conductivity. In addition, the bond, the type of bond, the covalent bond between carbon and the carbon atom is the strongest ever known type of bond. Therefore, this is the silent feature of graphene. We have unique optical properties and unique electron mobility and the electrical conductivity. The conductivity of graphene is 10 times higher than copper. This is the most well-known, the well-known conductive material. The graphene has a planar structure, so we can micro device it, a lot of devices. It's chemically inert because it's carbon, thermally stable. It has a very good thermal conductivity because it has a very good electrical conductivity. It has an excellent mechanical properties. It's harder than diamond and have strengths higher than any ever known materials. In addition, it can be stretched or bended by 20% of its original length. It means that you can stretch it, bend it, flex it in any kind of application. So it's a very good candidate for our application. Okay, the application of graphene, there are a lot of applications for graphene, especially in the area of electronic application, in energy application, environmental applications, and the application of graphene in general depends on the quality of graphene. sorry. Quality of graphene and the orientation of graphene. Quality of graphene means the defect, concentration on the graphene sheet, or the number of layers, because it's difficult to obtain by each time one single layer of graphene. Very difficult. One single layer of graphene is very difficult to obtain. So you can obtain 2 layers, 3 layers, still you have graphene features. So the quality of graphene and the orientation of graphene depend on a lot of things. But this is very important slides I would like to show on the investment in using graphene since the people got Nobel Prize in 2010 up to 2020, and most of the application is going flexible graphene, going to solar cell, conductive ink, OLED, energy storage, many applications. And you can imagine you have reached to $60 million by 2020 expected. Okay. As I already mentioned, quality play an important role in the application. Orientation play an important role. What's the main orientation? Is to have a planar sheet of graphene or standard sheet graphene. I'll mention why planar and the vertical. But this is the quality of graphene depends on the production methods. So we have two approaches. First approach, top-down approach, and second approach, bottom-up approach. Top-down approach means that you start with graphite, flashy carbon, very cheap material, and mechanically cleave layer by layer, or by chemical method. You chemically exfoliate layer by layer, or by what is called chemical vapor deposition, physical vapor deposition, starting with one carbon atom and enlarge, and you have one big sheet of graphene. Okay. The quality, the price of production for top-down approach is very small compared to bottom-up approach, because the quality here is much better by bottom-up approach. This is very important information also. Okay, this is some example for exfoliating graphene from graphite, and this is chemical method. First you bring graphite, oxidize it, and then reduce it. Very simple. And this is chemical vapor deposition. High temperature, high pressure, different gases introduces, and then you can build up your graphene sheet. Or more advanced technique called plasma enhanced chemical vapor deposition or microwave chemical vapor deposition. This is the most commonly used graphene. And when you find technology, you find a lot of companies and international scientific media being interested. As you can see here, this is people bring to two types of graphene preparation: CVD, chemical vapor deposition, and the chemical exfoliation. And most of the people interested or 5 patents, worldwide patents in this regard in 2014 are Samsung, Apple, Hitachi, where also the university are located nearby this company. So technology is connected with the people interested in such kind of research. Okay, this is the objective of the heart of my presentation. This is planar graphene, and this is vertical oriented graphene. What is the difference? In case of planar graphene, one of your side, we already said that we have 2-dimensional structure graphene. Graphene film or graphene layer is 2-dimensional structure. The planar graphene is usually, the bottom side is in direct contact with the substrate. So we are losing an important feature. Half of the feature, we are losing it. So it's better to make graphene stand free in order to minimize the contact with the underlying substrate. In addition, the edges here is SB hybridization, not SB2. It means that you have 2 free electrons delocalized on carbon atom, and usual extra high momentum electron, which can be used in increasing or fastening the devices used in information technology, the more faster computer, and. This is very important. So we have to tie planar structure and vertical oriented. Vertical oriented is very difficult. Practically, you cannot. People discovered it by 2014. But planar structure, many effort has been conducted to develop planar structure graphene. And this is give more clarification about the graphene planar structure. In case of planar graphene, if you have multi-layer graphene, not one layer, 3, 4, 10 layers, contacts with each other, so you are losing the unique feature of graphene, or partially losing the graphene feature, the unique feature, optical, mechanical, electrical, and so on. But vertically oriented graphene, less contact resistance, large surface area, exposure of course, open channels, sharp edges, which is very important, and so on. This is the vertical oriented graphene. Okay, in order to work with graphene, you have to know how to characterize it. You have to know what type of effect you have. You have to know the number of layers that you have. You have to know the sheet size that you will pattern it in the future for any kind of device. So many characterization tools like AFM, sorry for the people, but this is the characterization tool that are usually used in order to understand what type of graphene that we have or we deal with. So X-ray diffraction, FTIR, TEM, and so on. Okay, so for supercapacitors, we have the two types of characterization. So I'm going to develop supercapacitor units. So I would like to show you how to evaluate the performance of this supercapacitor unit. So by electrochemical workstations, we have electrode, separate electrode, or we have device like this. So we have what is called 3 electrode system. We can characterize the electrode, measuring the lifetime, specific capacitance, and so on, and resistance. And 2 type of electrode, this is the real evaluation. This is more recommended because this is the real device. So we have 2 type of evaluation, and we use what is called cyclic voltammetry, and galvanostatic charge, discharge, and impedance spectroscopy in order to evaluate the performance of these devices and these new materials. And this is typical example for the characterization tool. Cyclic voltammetry, the area under curve give information about how large surface area you have, how large you can store energy. Same thing for charge discharge, giving information about specific capacitance and resistance across the interface. And the impedance also give you information about charge transfer and across the interface, as well as resistance of the overall device. Sorry for this technical term, but this is just for information. This is the characterization tool for the supercapacitor. Okay. I will start with flexible planar graphene.